Welcome to day 188 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother, Brian, and we have a common guest that we've had before, Mario Nawfal. How's it going, Mario?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
There must not be much news because we have Mario on today.
Yeah, I was gonna say like not much today. Let's get Mario on. Let's just kind of fill the void.
You're the best void filler though, Mario. They don't
I've
come
always
any
got
better than
shit.
you.
I fill voids for a living, man. I always got shit going on.
Yeah, so I mean, there wasn't really too much news. There was some, so we don't really need you, Mario. We just wanted to have you on the show. DeSo hit $156 yesterday, which is the high since I guess June, or I don't even know when we hit that high previously, but it's the new high since we had the fall back a couple months ago, and it's brought a lot of excitement. I think it's brought more people to the platform to kind of start engaging again, just because the excitement's there. Also, Dr. Kat Cohen had her dinner with Natter. If you recall, she won the Diamond Hands dinner auction, I guess, last month. And now that Diamond Hands is out in the open and known as Natter, she had a dinner with him and she posted some photos, which were pretty cool. Looked like they had a really good time. It's going to be interesting to talk to her. Maybe we can get her on the show one of these days. And DeSo was a top weekly gainer in all of crypto, according to CoinGecko. Do you want to touch on that, Brian?
Yeah, so I mean, CoinGecko tracks it's hundreds of different cryptos, and in the last 7 days, the biggest gainer has been DeSo, which is up 110% from where it was a week ago. So that's exciting. And also DeSo is the number, I think, 73rd largest cryptocurrency based on market cap right now. So I mean, that's pretty big. I mean, it just launched. It just launched in the last 6 months, and we're already at number 73. So, any thoughts?
What are your thoughts, Mario? I know you're big.
I think I'm brutally honest. I'm not the. I try to make sure confirmation bias doesn't make the most out of what I say. And in this case, I think BitClout is just over BitClout. DeSo is overpriced. Short term. This is just short term. I just think it's just too early. Like, we haven't had the new UI launch. We haven't had Coinbase go live. Maybe it's in anticipation of this, and I could be completely wrong, could hit 300 next week, which is very possible, very, very possible. But I just think these things take more time. I think the price, in my opinion, is between $70 to $80, $70 to $100 is a pretty fair price. It's a top 100 coin, which is insane. To be a top 100 coin within months is crazy. But they do have a working product. They've got an incredible team. Probably Nader going public with his identity opens up the floodgates in terms of marketing and PR, and reduces a lot of the skepticism. Now it was good timing for us. So we took out, I think, low six figures, which is a very small amount for us, nothing, peanuts, in the grand scheme of things. So no one to worry. We just took it out for bookkeeping purposes, because there's expenses to manage the fund outside the fund. So the fund needs to pay those expenses. So we took out some things yesterday. So that increase in price is a good thing for us. But long term, it's for me, it's really, whether it's $70 or $150, it literally makes no difference to my happiness levels, or how satisfied I am with the project. Because what makes me happy, and I think what everyone should be talking about, is the metrics, the metrics of the platform itself. So I was looking at them this morning. So I'm glad you guys messaged me to jump on, because it was a good time. Because I was looking at the platform last night and today to see how things are going. And beyond the rug pulls that we're talking about, that's upsetting us a lot. The metrics of the platform itself, the fundamentals are increasing. So probably 100. If it correlates with the price, which it shouldn't, because price is assumptions and human emotions. But if it correlates with the fundamentals, I'll look at an increase from 70 to 70K, 80K, $80 at DeSo to 100 makes sense. But I think the 150, which is a massive, again, it's a massive gain for a top 100 coin, even in crypto. It's a big gain. Is really anticipation of what's to come with Nader going public with his identity, Coinbase, and all the other developments. So I think there's new attention to the platform, and there's also more liquidity. So that's something else we saw yesterday. That was a nice, pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
What do you-
and
Go
I
ahead,
just wanted to say like I've been looking at the daily actives and like you said, that's so much more important to us than the coin price. The coin price is going to jump up and down, but the daily actives, it should steadily rise, at least we hope. And since these changes, since DeSo came about, they announced it, the daily actives have been increasing. But the one stat that I've really been following are the number of users who have 10 plus actions on the platform in a day. And that's actually gone up considerably. I think it's up about 60% since that DeSo announcement. So that's big. It's still a very low number. I think it's like 1,600 or something. So don't get too excited. But I think that's a good trajectory. And I think if we can continue on that, and if they announce a dev fund or whatever they're going to announce soon, and we see the new UI and that new node that they're talking about, I think that's going to at least increase that number. What the coin price does, who really knows?
Mario, do you think that, so we have this Coinbase listing coming, probably within weeks, maybe a month, maybe a little more than a month. But do you think the price is factoring that in right now? Or do you think once it's on Coinbase, it's going to open it up to so many more people that it will increase the price? So isn't
Or
it kind
will
of
people
hard
sell? Or will people have
Yeah, or will more
opportunity to
people
sell?
be able to
Like for
sell?
example, if we want to use sell, we can't. Not that we will, but we're in Florida and we can't use blockchain.
Yeah, so first, I feel like a bit of a hypocrite because I've always said never predict price because it's like a impossible game for the human brain, but it's fun, and I usually never do. But in this case, I'm just too vested in DeSo. It's hard because in crypto, there's a lot of buy the rumors, sell the news, which I'm sure you've heard. So a lot of people might have already, and as you said, it might have already been factored in, and people sell it on Coinbase. I think anyone that cares, that actually cares, not just out of curiosity, and that influences their decision, I think you're already losing because you're already playing the short-term game. And DeSo is a losing game for any short-term players because it depends on the crypto bubble, which is in the bubble right now. If the bubble pops, DeSo could take a hit, whether it will go down from 400 to 150, or whether it will go down from 150 to 60 or 40 or 30. Either one is possible. But if you're betting on DeSo being the decentralized social protocol, then the coin, the project is a safe investment. I look at it as a blue chip project. Now we're talking about it being a top 100 coin called decentralized social. Nadir is public and it's going to be listing on Coinbase and the volume is healthy. 6 months ago, it was pure speculation. It was called BitClout. No one knew, most people didn't know who Diamond Hands was. And it was not listed anywhere, had no liquidity. It didn't even have blockchain.com, and people were calling it an exit scam. So if you look at those things, ignoring the price, let's say we don't know the price, and all someone told us 6 months from now, like, hey, in 6 months, this will be called decentralized social. Everyone will know, Nadir will come out public with his identity. It will be on Coinbase and blockchain.com, and it will be a top 100 coin in 6 months or less. That's crazy for any crypto project. And I'm genuinely invested, and some people know this because some people invest with me, but I'm genuinely invested in over 50 crypto projects. And one to none have moved that fast. I'd say none have moved as fast as DeSo has. So like if you're a long-term investor, you should be excited. If you're making decisions based on Coinbase and what the price will be, you're already losing.
Yeah, I think those are really good points. I think that like we've been pushing is concentrate on the technology and the developers coming on board and what's being developed. Don't concentrate on the price because short term, the price is going to fluctuate all over the place. But long term, that development of the platform and the protocol and all the second layers that are built on top of DeSo, that's what's going to drive this to the next level. And long term, that's going to push the price up too. But short term, the price is going to be all over the place.
I'm back. I don't know. I cut out, so I apologize.
It was good. It worked out. We didn't even notice you were gone.
Cool. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you.
So So what are you doing with Creator Fund? Are you still buying a lot? I know you were talking to us about some rug pulls earlier. I know that's kind of that's not the best of things to be happening right now at this stage. But what are your thoughts and what are you doing? Oh, I guess Mario kind of jumped out here. Maybe he'll be back. But what we were talking about with Mario was that there have been rug pulls, a lot of rug pulls, especially in the last like 48 hours. And that has caused a lot of people to get upset and maybe not invest as much. Hey Mario, you're back. I was just asking you about rug pulls and about what you're doing with Creator Fund. Do you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I wanted to mention something earlier before I dropped out. It's funny. Like today, I'm in Turkey now, and can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
I think you cut out, Mario. So yeah, I mean, I think the rug pulls are, they're discouraging. It kind of, if you're looking to make money on the platform and you're the victim of these rug pulls, it kind of discourages you from buying the coin of new people who come on board until for sure that they're really who they say they are. I think this brings up the topic of two different topics, and one is the ability to stake your coin. If we can create a bridge with DeFi, the ability to stake your coin so that everybody knows that you can't sell it. It's a smart contract that says this creator can't sell this coin. They can't rug pull. I think that's something we really need on BitClout. And Mario's back. How's it going?
Yeah, I heard what you said. Yeah, good. I don't know why. Whenever my internet cuts out, I'm in Turkey now. My internet just finished on my SIM. So it's always on the interviews with you guys, my internet starts to mess up. But yeah, I think the biggest problem we were talking about earlier, and I know I just interrupted you. You mentioned a point and going to point number 2. But on point number 1, I think this is the things that I can't wait for, is people being able to stake their coins. And I think you guys, someone created a vault where you can send your coins to a vault. No, your vault, you can never get them back.
Yeah.
And I think someone else created a vault where you can send your coins in and you can get them back. There's a big trust factor there. Probably someone more reputable should create one. Like we partner on one, but then we have massive responsibility to protect that private key, or we're liable to, to so much capital. But creating some sort of vault, some sort of staking mechanism, because like just before this interview, I don't know if you mentioned it, I got rugged. I made a post yesterday about being rugged 3-4 times, and that's the ones that we found. Ryan Dio made a list of accounts that we got rugged, and there's like, it's no joke, 360 or something, or 260 accounts. I sent it to Eric, that have potentially, because some have just moved their coins to another account, that have potentially rugged because they hold none of their own coins anymore, and that's becoming a really frustrating problem on the platform. But I'll let you continue, Brian, what you're saying.
I was gonna say my second point. Besides the DeFi bridge to DeSo in order to allow you to stake your coin, I think another thing is verification. Diamond Hands Natter talked about the associations, the thing that they're going to eventually release, which is essentially going to allow anyone to verify the identity of anyone else, and then it'll be up to the node to decide which person's verifications are trusted. So I think that would be a great way to kind of allow people to be verified very quickly, and over time you'll establish trust in certain verifiers, and then the nodes can kind of jump on board with those verifiers.
Yeah, and just quickly going back to like staking and all that, there is something called cloutbridge.net. I was telling Mario and you about it right before we started recording. And that seems to be on its way to allowing for staking a creator coin. Whether or not that's going to work out the way everybody hopes, I don't know. But I think that's definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, and I haven't really looked into CloutBridge yet, but I definitely want to read that article you sent me earlier on CloutPub. It seems, I think it's the direction that we have to move in. It takes the whole trust factor out of everything on BitClout, and you can kind of feel free that like that your speculation and your investing, if you want to call it that, is trusted. Whereas, right now you have to trust other individuals on the platform.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There's not much more I can add to this. So And before I dropped out, I wanted to add something about the topic earlier about BitClout and the metrics, but I'll mention that at the end when you're closing down the episode.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have too much else to talk about. It was nice staring at your frozen face for about a minute there. But
Is
yeah,
it still? Is
no,
it
no, you're
still?
good
Is it
now.
still
You're good
frozen
It
now?
now.
was good. It wasn't like you weren't making like a weird face or anything. So it was a good time to freeze on you.
You looked really
Okay.
serious.
I'm glad to bring that seriousness to the episode. Look, I wanted to add one last point about the metrics that matter. One thing. So do you remember, you guys? The only time that you guys had to edit an episode. Now I can't. You guys are both frozen on me, so I don't know if you're smiling or not. Oh, yeah, I see Ed now. Brian is frozen. First time, the only time you had to edit the episode is when I accidentally mentioned Nader's name. That was a while ago, before he
Yeah,
went
well,
public with
you
his
know, we
identity.
actually didn't edit that because like I laughed or Brian laughed as you were saying it, so you couldn't hear you saying Nader in the video. So we never actually did edit.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there you go. Well, I thought you did. So that's like the only time. I was hoping I'd be the first edit you had to make in a video, but I'm not. What there's many things we could have talked about before, but we couldn't because it's out of respect to Nader and his team. And one thing Nader said a while ago, he's like, "Don't worry about the price of the coin. Like, I'm not worried at all." And that's something that's not surprising for someone that's already in crypto or invest in project. Worry about building on the platform. That's all you have to worry about, because even the number of users don't worry me, because you haven't even started marketing. Right now we got to build the foundation, so when the users do come, they stick, because we saw what happens when users come and the platform is shit. They churn, and that happened. BitClout was blowing up and everyone was churning. So right now we just got to be patient. I had a few people that were jumping off the bandwagon, including some of my investors, very respectfully, like, "Hey, it looks like it's gonna die." I even had NFT Tech. I had one of the board members at NFT Tech a week before, and so about a week and a half ago, like a week before Nader went public. They're like, "Hey man, BitClout is dead, isn't it?" I'm like, "It's just crazy when there isn't hype behind a project is dead. It's never been more alive. It's never been more building."
Right.
And you just don't know when this will happen. Like, no one knew, or most people didn't know Nader was going public with his identity. Like, I knew it was a possibility, but I didn't know it was already definite and it's already happening. Yeah, I think the Nader's point of not worrying about those things and just worry about building just shows that they're pretty happy with how things are progressing. And I don't blame them. I think anyone that has a 9-figure marketing budget will be pretty happy with how things are. But it's a pretty big, they're trying to achieve something really, really big. So the likelihood of failing is there, and something we should all appreciate. But every month that passes, that likelihood is dropping further and further.
Yeah, it's a
Ryan
9-figure
dropped out.
marketing budget that they haven't spent a cent of yet. And we still have the new front end, and we have the referral program, which is going to, most likely that's going to launch right before the marketing budget goes into effect. And of course, the referral program will take some of that marketing budget. But I think when you combine the referral program with a huge marketing budget, it's going to create an explosion.
The fuel in the fire.
Yeah. And I'm tired of hearing that fuel on the fire. I think I made it like a long post about enough freaking fuel. But Ed, you mentioned something interesting, is not a cent is spent from the marketing budget, and we're a top 100 coin.
Yeah.
I know projects, like marketing is like the bread and butter of projects these days, especially all those hype-based projects. Like, if there's no marketing, there isn't any shilling. And we do a lot of that marketing, not the shilling one, but we do a lot of marketing for crypto projects, a lot. And we've been doing it since 2017. And there's massive demand for marketing. When you see a project reach the top 100 without any marketing, that's insane. So, yeah, I'm bullish as I was when it was $70 a coin. I've got the same level of bullishness. It's not up because the price is up. Same way the bullishness wasn't down when the price dropped. It's just more looking at the fundamentals, and they're looking pretty solid. Probably it went up now just because Nader is public, and the new name, which I didn't know. That's something that caught me by surprise. I did not know this rebranding to DeSo. So the DeSo rebrand is a smart move, and something that makes me a bit more bullish.
Yeah, they really kept that under wraps. I heard about it like that night before, and it was very vague what I heard. So it was like, so nobody really knew about it except maybe some of the VCs. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Or even no, even the VCs didn't know. Like
Right.
the information was like something BitClout is no longer just BitClout or something like very vague. It's like cryptic. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just wait to see what's gonna happen. It's too
Yeah,
cryptic for me.
well, you know, like I think it's been impressive how much media attention Natter has been able to get since he has come out and unveiled himself. I think that can be attributed to his name and his past with Basecoin basis and also with
No.
these.
Yeah, so something you don't know. I almost invested in Basis a long time ago, back in 2017.
Did you?
A guy, yeah, Ron or something brought it up to me, and Basis didn't succeed. But I also know the story of him refunding investors. That's why I have so much faith in the platform. But I could never say this. You know, I could never say,
Yeah.
guys, don't worry about BitClout. Like the founder is one of the most ethical people there is. He refunded the investors a Basis when it went bad, and I've heard great things about him. So like I have that history. So I didn't invest in Basis. I never spoke to Nader back then. I wasn't too interested in another stable coin. There were just too many back then. So yeah, I go back, but that's not the reason he got the press attention, because press don't give a crap about Nader or Basis. What they care about is the story, and the story is really solid. A decentralized Facebook. Everyone's talking about the monopoly that Facebook, Twitter, etc. have. Well, there's a decentralized version, and now there's crypto hype. So I think crypto is also interesting. So a decentralized version of the monopolies is an exciting story for any press company. So yeah, it's good that Nader is out now. It means that I won't be on Reuters or any of those, because I was getting a bit of press. People asking me about BitClout because I had no one to ask. So I lose any press opportunities, but it's good for the platform.
yeah, and I think when you combine that kind of replacement for Twitter and Facebook that's decentralized with crypto, you just have this explosion of interest. So I think that's exactly right. But yeah, I think it's probably
the founder being anonymous and no longer anonymous. The story just gets sexier and sexier. So
yeah.
you know, hats off to them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, I think that's a good place to end off on day 188. Thanks again, Mario, for coming on our show. I think you currently hold the record for the most appearances on the daily DeSo show.
And the most time someone has cut out on your show.
Maybe
It's okay.
I think probably
It makes things interesting.
Yeah, it's as long as you don't have weird faces when you cut out, it's okay.
Like it was like.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks again, Mario, and we'll talk to everyone tomorrow.